The recording is stopped.
Yeah, I have started actually. See, if I type Docker images, so what happened? It got also stopped. Power got disconnected, guys. I have connected with my mobile Wi-Fi. 1 minute. Okay. So we have two images, right? One is a Docker Ubuntu image we have, and we have an Alpine image. So I'm going to remove this container. How to remove this container? Do you know how to remove the container? Docker RM command. RM. What is the container name I have given? Web is the container name I have given. So when you press enter, you are seeing an error because it's a running container. So I have to use Docker RM space -f. Web is the name. Yeah, its container got removed. I will remove this image also. How can I remove the image? Docker. Can you tell me Docker? RMI space Alpine. I have to give it. So thereby your image also got removed. Now if you check Docker images, if you give it, so only one image is as of now we have, which is called Ubuntu image. Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, say for an example, I want to create one custom image. And we already have a Ubuntu container. So Ubuntu image we have. So here I'm going to create one container for Ubuntu. How can I create the container, guys, for Ubuntu?
Docker
container
run
space -it
space name
then
give a port number
exactly -80:80 then
-d -d.
Yes, for image name, not a container name. Image name. Yeah. So when you press enter, what happened? I made the mistake. Docker container rum I have given. Stop 1 minute. Run. Okay. Now you have a container. To see that one, I can type Docker ps command. We have a container. Now I'm going to download, or maybe I need to go inside this particular container. How to go inside this container? Docker
exec.
Exactly. Docker exec. Yes, exec. Space interactive terminal.
And the name of the container.
Web. Yes.
Bash.
Exactly. So when you press enter, now we are inside this particular container. Inside this particular container. Say for an example, I'm going to install one Apache server here. I'm going to install one Apache server. How to install the Apache server, guys? How to install the Apache server?
apt install
install
Apache 2.
Yes. Before that, use apt update actually. Otherwise, you will see some error. So apt update. So it will start updating your this Ubuntu container, and then you can use apt install Apache APACHE 2. Press enter. It will start installing your Apache now.
Why?
Okay, yes. Why we have to. Okay, it's completed. Now let me exit this. I'm going to create one directory on my server, which is Ubuntu server. How to create directory ls? Before that, ls. Okay, I don't have. I can create a directory. Say I'm making one directory, say which is called Docker also I can give it, or you can give any other name. I can give Docker. And if I type ls command, if Docker is available, I can go inside this Docker and I will create some file. Say I will write echo. Within that, I'm writing some file here. Say for an example, I'm going to develop one button. I want to develop one button, right? I'm writing one button tag, and the button is say a login button. I have a one button called login button. So I can close this button tag, and then I can save this code inside some particular file. Say I'm going to save this particular file. Say this is the file will be saved in test.html file. Inside this Docker folder, I'm going to develop some HTML code in order to develop one button called login button. I'm saving inside the test.html I have written, right? So once it is completed, press enter. Now, when you type ls, you can see one file will be created, which is called test.html file. Now what I need to do, I need to copy this file. I need to copy this file from here to your Ubuntu server, your Ubuntu container. How can I copy? Docker cp is the command, and you have to get this file from /o/ubuntu / the folder name is docker space / and the file name is test.html. Docker cp, yeah, source and destination, correct. Docker html space, and I need to post this into the server container called web container ://www/html. Thereby you are copying the code from your source to the container, from your Ubuntu server to Ubuntu container, right? So press enter. That's completed. That is completed, right? So we have copied this code. I will go inside this Ubuntu server, Docker exec space -it is the command, and space, you can give the web container as the name, and you can write the bash here. So I have logged into Ubuntu container now. So let me check the status of your Apache 2 service. Apache 2 say status, and it is not running. So let me start running this. And then if you check the status, it will telling the running. So let me go to here and I will copy this public IP address. I can paste it over there. / the test.html. Okay, I need to allow the security group. So go to the instance, and which is this one, and go to the security, click on the security group, edit inbound rule, allow one rule, which is called 80 rule, and which is from anywhere over the network. So done, it's completed. Now, can you see one login button I have created? So this is my login button I have designed. So I have deployed this particular code into my Docker container. Is that right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have deployed my code into my Docker container from 80 port to 80 port of your container, right? So now, what we have done? So I want to create one custom image. How? See, if you check Docker container ls, I have, before that I need to exit Docker container ls command. We have one container, and if you type Docker images, and we have one image which is called Ubuntu image. Yeah, we have Ubuntu image, and we have a container also. Suppose if you are working in a project, suppose developer, they have given some package that is called a button, right? We have designed the button that you have deployed into your Dockerized container. Now what you want, you have to create the custom image from the container because you have a base image, right? The base image is Ubuntu image. But on that, what you have done? There are two tasks you have done. One is you have installed the Apache server. The other task you have done is you have deployed the code. Now what I need to create the custom image from this container. How to create the custom image? That's why we need a Docker commit. That's where the thing comes into the picture, which is called Docker commit. Right? So I will clear this. Docker PS, it will tell you I have only one container as of now. PS space -a, it will give you all the running container or all the container, right? It will give it to you. As of now, I have only one container. Now I'm going to write a Docker commit space. I have to give a container name. The container name is web, and you have to give the image name. What is the custom image that you want? So I need a custom image name is, say this is my web image. Web image. Like that I have given some name. What happened? My internet connection is unstable. Guys, isn't my voice is clear, right? Huh? My voice is clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have given web image. Fine. Press enter. Now it will create one custom image. Can you see here? Now if you type Docker image, I have two image, right? One is smooth image, which is the base image, which I got it from the dockerup.com. But now I got another image called web image, which is your image on top of the Ubuntu. Along with that, you have a Apache server and you have deployed some code also. Right? So if you want to remove this particular image, if you don't want, you can remove it also. So you can write a Docker rm space -f. You can give web, thereby the container will be removed. And if you want to create a container on top of this particular image, web image, you can do it, right? So can I do it? Docker, a container, space -it, space -name, the image, the container name that you want to give. Maybe I can give web is the container name, -p 80:80 space -d. Then you can give the image name. The image name I have given web image. I will always miss this run command. Okay. Press enter. So now, if I check this, it is not HTML, right? So I have to execute, right? So how can I execute? Docker exec space -it web bash. So your container got connected. So I have to start the service Apache start. Service Apache to start. So it is started. Now you can see. Now this time I have created the custom image. Also I have launched. Are you clear, guys? This is what we have done yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Now I'm going to teach you how to create a custom image, not by using Docker commit. I'm going to teach you with the help of Docker file. So let me forcefully delete this container. And if I type Docker images, I have a two image. I will also remove this image, the web image. I'm going to remove. Fine. So type Docker images. I have a Ubuntu image. It's my base image. It is my base image. If you don't want, you can remove it, that also. Say I'm removing that also. Docker images. Docker RMI Ubuntu. Right. If you type Docker images, I don't have any image now. So how to create one custom image? You have to write the script. For that, you need to write the script. So where you need to write the script? You have to write the script inside the Docker file. There is a file called Docker file. That is not having any extension. Your Docker file generally not having any extension. It is not having any extension. Generally, you will write YML file, right? In like that, you don't have any extension, remember. Very important. And you shouldn't change the syntax also. Maybe you can write like this. VI Docker file. VI Docker file. So any questions so far?
No news.
Okay. So using the Docker file, we can able to build your image. A custom image you can able to build automatically. So for that, so Docker basically Docker can build your images automatically by reading the instruction, from a Docker file. You will basically write the instruction inside the Docker file, and using that, Docker can build your custom image or image. So it's a simple text document. It's a simple text document which contains all the commands. Right? So whatever the command that you want, you can use it. So user, basically could call on the command line to assemble an image. So I will tell you practically that will have an idea. So I will go to my terminal. We have a VI Docker file. So let me press enter, and I'm going to write all my commands inside this Docker file. Guys, the first line you should have some base image, guys. Whenever you build any image using the Docker file, what is the one thing which is mandatory? You need a base image. That image you can get it from your docker.com, or you can get it from somewhere your repository also, any repository. Say I'm writing a command called from command, from space, and the image name that I want is Ubuntu. Generally, we use Docker pull the image name we have given, right? The same way in the Docker file I'm writing from Ubuntu. Thereby, you will get the base Ubuntu image. Guys, this is the mandatory command. This is mandatory command. Are you clear? Yes or no? So what it refers? I need a base image. Ubuntu image, I need it. Okay, generally, if you go with the CI/CD pipeline and all, guys, in that case, most of the time, the manual intervention, it is not good, right? But if you go with the commit, Docker commit, that time you need a multiple manual intervention, right? For that reason, the DevOps people, they introduced something called Docker file, where you can write the script. Everything will be automated. Everything will be automated. So, did you remember Ansible adoc command? Ansible adoc command, it's a single line command, right? Why did we move from adoc command to playbook? Did you remember? Yes or no? The same. Now we are moving from Docker commit to Docker file, where you are going to write a multiple commands to perform a many operation, multiple operation. Now from Ubuntu means you need a Ubuntu image from the dockerup.com. That's the reason I have written from Ubuntu. In between, sometimes we will get a lot of question, right? Yes or no. Like that, many questions you will get it. Many prompts you will get it, right? So if you don't want that prompt, because when you do the automation, in between, if you get the manual intervention and all, that's not a good, right? It is not an automation then. Say for an example, do you need to increase the servers or do you need to reduce the server? Like that, if anything prompt on your terminal, is that good? No. So if you don't want any question, then in Docker file, we have a command called ARG. ARG means argument. Here you can tell, say suppose a dbn underscore front end, dbn underscore front end equal to, which is a non-interactive. So it is used to it will not ask any question. Suppose when you do the automation in between, if there is a needed also, automatically it will take it as not applicable or none, no questions like that. No, like that. So it will not prompt any question. For that, we have to use this argument. Argument is a Debian front end. In front end, I don't want any question, which is non-interactive. That is called argument. Suppose if you want to update your package, which command you have to use it to update your package? Run command. Run is the command you have to use it to update some package. Say for an example, I want to update apt get space update. I want to update. Suppose I want to install the Apache 2 server. I want to get the base image and I am updating the base image. Now I need to install the Apache server, Apache 2 server. You can use the run command, run apt-get say space -y install space Apache 2. I want to install this Apache 2 server. And you have to copy, right? You have to copy the test.html file. You have to copy the test.html file to your var www.html inside the container, right? From your source to target, from your Ubuntu server to Ubuntu container. So if you want to copy in Docker file, we have to use the add command. Add, say slash. So what is the folder name? Says add, say this is a folder name called Docker slash test.html, where you need to copy. I need to copy to slash var slash www slash html folder. We use the Docker cp command, right? In the same way here, add. In Docker file, add means copy. Add means copy. Guys, can you tell me, once you install the Docker or Apache server in your Docker container, to start the Docker container, what you did? To start the Apache server, what you did?
Start.
Exactly. So we use the start command, right? To start the Apache server.
Yeah.
But when you go with the automation, can I do everything manually? Can I start the server? Can I check the status? It is very difficult, right? So what I'm doing, I'm writing here a command called entry point. Entry point is the command. What's the purpose of this entry point? Once you create the container, automatically, the server and all will be initiated. Say, if you type Apache CTL space -d, I'm writing foreground. I'm writing. So what is the meaning of this line? When a container is started, right? When a container is started with this image, then it will first run your Apache server. When you use the entry point command, you no need to manually start the Apache server. Automatically, who will take care? Starting the Apache server, the entry point command will take care. Entry point command will take care. So when you write this entry point command, whatever the server that you want to start it, or whatever the server that you want to initiate, all the server you can initiate with the help of entry point command. Guys, I have a question. What is environment? Do you have any idea? What is environment? What is it? Am I audible? Hello.
Different environments.
No. That's a different environment. Okay, correct only. So we have a staging, production. Okay. What is environment? ENV in your laptop. What is environment? A platform it run our app. Okay, correct. Environmental variable. Correct. Environmental variable, system variable. Did you hear? What is environmental variable, system variable? In your computer, you know, suppose if you install the Java, suppose for an example, you have installed the Java, but your game, suppose if you are playing one cricket game, that cricket game required a dependency called Java. How the cricket game will know whether you have a Java or not? How the cricket game will know whether your machine have a Java or not? With the help of environmental variable. With the help of environmental variable. So environmental variable, it will say, in this particular location, we have a Java. Suppose if you are running the Jenkins, did you remember we have discussed something called global tool configuration at the time of Jenkins, global tool configuration. We have configured the Java and the Maven location over there. Why we are configuring those things? The reason because Jenkins should understand where my Java, where is my Maven. That is called variable. So in the same way, suppose if you want to set some environmental variable, say for an example, the environmental variable is DevOps. I am just giving some name, but in the interview people might ask you how to set the environmental in a Docker file with the help of env command. But it is not required as of now, but I'm just telling you. See guys, this command is to get the image from your Docker Hub. This command, I don't want any prompt. I want to ignore. And this is the command to update your apt Apache 2 server, or maybe Apache update all the package. To install the Apache 2 server, this one. To copy the file from your Docker server or Ubuntu server to Ubuntu container. And entry point is the command. Whatever the server that you want to start it, we can use the entry point command. And we are setting the environmental variable also. Are you clear? So no issues. Let me save this particular file, Docker file. Docker file. So now in my location, I have a two file, right? One is Docker file and we have a test.html file. I have a Docker file. I have a test.html file. Now I want to build the image. I want to create a custom image. How can I build it? Docker space build space -t. You have to provide some tagging. You can give any name to build your image. Say I'm giving one name called, say this is image by Docker file, image by file. Docker build space -t, Docker build space -t, sorry, Docker space build space -t. Now let me check. When you press enter, can you see the step number 1 from Ubuntu? It is pulling the image from your dockerup.com. As a step number 2, there is no question it will ask you. Third one, yes, it's completed actually. Almost it's completed. So whatever the instruction you have given, right, inside the Docker file, all the instruction will be executed step by step. One by one, it will execute with the help of a Docker build command. So finally, you can see image also. So let me clear this. And I will check the Docker images. Is there any images got created? Yes, we have one image. Can you see here? One image got created. This is my base image. On top of the base image, you have this particular image, 233 MB file got created. So now you build one image. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So you can able to build your own image, guys. You can build your own image. How can I build? With the help of a build command. Using the build command, you can build your images. So which one is easy? Docker file or Docker commit? To be frank, Docker file is easy when compared to Docker commit. Because inside the Docker file, you have to write an instruction, you have to write the command, everything available in the Google readily. You just need to copy and paste it, that's it. And then you can build the image with help of Docker build space dot space -t, and whatever the image that you want, you can give the name. So through that, you can able to build your custom image with help of your base image, Docker file. Right? Are you clear?
Yes, then.
Okay. So suppose I want to create a container on top of this particular image. How to create a container? Docker container, Docker container, space, run, space, -it,
-d.
name. Yes, name. Name is maybe a web server, and -p 80:80 and then
-d.
-d, the Docker image name. Any name you can give it. So my Docker name,
Is none.
None. Better I can get the image ID. I can take the image ID. Press enter. Now, if you check Docker ps command, I have one container is up and running. Is that right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Right. So we have a container now. So let me check. Refresh. Refresh. So I have to start the container. How can I start the how can I use the exec command? Docker ex ec space -it. Then what is the container
File
name?
name. Container name and bash.
Web bash. Why, what happened? I don't need to start the server and all because I already written the command as well. So 8080 we have mapped, actually it's a web container. We have completed this also. Docker ps exit Docker ps. So it is up only. The container is running. And okay, let me check. Let's check. ls. We have where is that? slash var slash www slash html ls. We have index.html file, but why that particular file not copied? That particular file not get copied. Let me clear this. Okay, clear this. Exit. I'm going to check my Docker file. Vi doc. Before that, let me type ls command. And my okay. So Docker file I have created inside the Docker. Oh my God. So rm. Okay. I will write Docker vi Docker file. So I will copy this. Okay. So I will come cd dot vi Docker file. So let me paste it and then save this particular file. So now, which is outside. Now, okay, Docker images. You have this image, right? So let me Docker RMI, same Ubuntu image, Ubuntu. Okay, Docker RMI space this particular image ID. There is unable to delete, cannot found image is being run, container is running. Okay, Docker RM, web is the container name. Let me remove this. RM -f. Okay, now let me remove this image also, got removed. Now let me write the command Docker build space dot -t, and the image name I want to give, say this is image by file, like that I'm giving some name. Docker build space dot -t image. From Ubuntu, argument I have added apt-get update, run apt-get space -y, install Apache 2, add /docker /test.html space /var /www /html entry point Apache ctl-d foreground. Oh, here I made the mistake. Okay, so let me save this. Now let me check this command. Yes, it's working now.
What
One
was the
sec.
mistake, Dinesh?
Tilt symbol actually. So mistakenly I have typed tilt symbol. That's a typo error. Typo error. So it will add failed. File not found in build context or excluded ignore start docker / test HTML. Why? ls command. I have a Docker, right? Oh, it is, which is in lowercase. What I have added over there. vi Docker, a file, Docker file. Here I have added uppercase. So this should be small d. Save this. Now once again, try building the file. Completed. So what is Docker ignore? It's a kind of a .git ignore. Did you remember .git ignore? Same. Yeah, you have written, right? .git ignore. Same. Suppose if you don't want your Docker should track some file, you can add it inside the .docker ignore. Fine. So what you have done? So far, we build, right? We will start creating the container now. Docker container, space run, space run, space, what do you have to write? Can tell me? Doc container run, space, -it, space -name. You can give a name called, say, web name, web server, -p, say 80:80, space, -d, and you can give some name, right? The name of the image. So the image name, img1. img1. Now, it will create the container also. Clear? Clear. Now, I no need to start the container and all. It means I need to start the Apache server and all. So let me see. Can you see here? I can type test.html, test.html, press enter. And I can see the login button now. So through the Docker file also you can build the image. Is that okay, guys? Guys, login. Did you guys log into the container and then did you start the Apache server and all? Because you didn't start any Apache server because already you have written the instruction. Where you have written the instruction inside the Docker file. So in real time, most of the time, to create your container directly, people will go for this Docker file instead of going for Docker commit. Docker commit is the manual way, but the Docker file is an automated scripted way. Are you clear so far? Guys, are you clear so far?
Yeah, Dinesh.
Okay. So now we have one command, guys. We have one command which is called Docker image tag. Docker image tag. Docker image tag. So what is the use of this particular command? I will tell you later what is the use of this command, but directly I can type Docker images. So I have two images, right? One is base image, which is called Ubuntu, and img1, which is the image which I created by using the file, Docker file. The custom image. It's a custom image. Now, if I type Docker image, the tag, and what is the name of the image? Say img1, right? This is the name of your image, right? Custom image. Now, what I'm doing, I am writing like this. Say, for an example, production slash, I'm writing, this is one img1 or web image, a web image, like that I'm writing. Something I'm writing. Press enter. Now, if you type Docker images, now can you see there are three images, right? One is Ubuntu image, already we have. And this is the img1, which I have created as a custom image. But one more image got created, right? Production slash web image. But you have to remember, this image has a different image ID. This image and this one, image one and production slash image, both are referring to the same image ID only. Both are 233 MB file. Both are referring to same image ID. Why I've done like this? I will tell you. Wait. But will you able to understand what is the purpose of this particular line? Will you able to understand what is the particular use of this line? I'm telling you why I've done like this. In a bit, I will tell you. But what this command is doing, are you clear? Suppose if you have a Ubuntu. For this Ubuntu, I want to create one more image. How can I create it? Docker image tag. For which image? Ubuntu image. Space. Say for an example, this is my new Ubuntu image. Like that I'm doing. Suppress enter. Now if you check Docker images, can you see here? New Ubuntu image and Ubuntu image has the same image ID. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Dinesh.
Yes.
Creating an image of that particular.
Yes, exactly. Exactly, right. Why I've done like this? Listen. Now, yesterday I told you, right? So basically, we will create the custom image. And this custom image, maybe you can share it to other developer or tester. Maybe suppose tester wants to do testing. The tester needs that particular image, right? So we have to create the custom image. To share this custom image, we have to share this custom image. We can use the many directory like sub-registry or company. They will use the different software to manage these images. But we know, right, dockerup.com also available. We can go with the dockerup.com also, where also you can host or you can share your image. But there are two important things you have to remember. If you want to share your image to Docker Hub, share your image, send your image to Docker Hub. There are two things you have to remember. The first one, you should have an account. You should have an account on Docker Hub. The second one, even though you have an account, the second one, you have to follow some naming convention. You have to follow some naming convention also. The naming convention that you have to follow, whenever you share any image, that image should have the naming convention like username / image name. Image name. This is the naming convention you have to follow. Username / image name. Username generally you will get it when you create an account. When you create your Docker account, you will get it. Say, I will create an account. Click on this register. It will ask you username, right? I will give some username. Say, I'm giving one username like Dinesh Amul 4484. Like that I'm giving. Along with one email ID 4484@gmail.com. And the password, I'm setting some password also. And I agree, I'm not a robot. And bus, this one, click on verify. Click on sign up. What happened? Yes, done, right? So now I need to validate my email. So let me validate from my mobile. I will verify this. Guys, are you there? Arun, Aman, Kritika?
Yes.
You are there, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So now I will send my email address. Click on continue. And then I have to give the password also. Let me click on continue. And good. It is. I'm not going with the account. I will continue with the free account. That's fine. So now I'm going to post my I'm going to share my image to this dockerhub.com. Right? So let me go to my terminal. How to share this with help of, first of all, you have to log in actually. Just type Docker login and it will ask you the username. The username I have given, which is this one, username. And the password is my password. Okay, wait the mistake. 1 second, login. Login. This one, my username. And this one is my password. Yes. Login succeeded. I have logged into my dockerhub.com. Now I have the account and I have logged in. Now I need to share the image. So there is a command called docker push command. And before that, what is the image you have? Docker images. I have this particular image, right? Which image I want to share? Maybe I want to share this img1. Docker push img1. Press enter. You are seeing an error, right? Denied. Access request denied. So what it refers? You should follow the naming convention. I said in the document, naming convention, you have to follow username / image name. Username / image name. So then write Docker push. What is the username? My username / the image name. But what is the problem? If you press enter again, you are seeing an error because is there any images available here? Is there any images available? Docker images. Dinesh Amal 4484 IMG. Where is that image? And I have to create an image, right? How to create the image? Docker image tag. What is the image name? IMG1. That I'm going to rename, or I'm going to create a tag for that image one. Dinesh Amul 4484 / IMG1. So now if you check Docker images, now I can see this particular image. That's the reason I taught you this particular command. Is that right? Are you clear? What is the use of this particular command? What is the use of this particular command?
Yes, sir.
Guys, at the time of Docker commit command itself, if you give this name, there is no problem. But when you use the Docker file, Docker build command, that time also you can give this particular name. In that time also, you will not face any problem. But when you give another name, that time obviously you have to use the Docker image tag. So now you can push this image to your dockerhub.com. Now it is pushing. Can you see here? It is pushing. It's completed. Now if you check your dockerhub.com, this is my account. Where can you see one image I have pushed actually a few seconds ago? Dinesh Amul 4484 / IMG1. Click on and you can see the image information, right? So latest image, operating system. Suppose if you want to edit anything, you can edit it. If you want to add some description, you can add it. If you want to add some tag, you can add it. If you want to add some overview about your image, you can add it, right? You can add it. So this is how you can push your image from your local repository to your Docker repository or Docker Hub, a remote repository. Am I clear, guys?
Yes, sir. Great, but இப்போ நீங்க டைப் பண்ணது இங்க ஷோ ஆகுதுல்ல ஒரு இமேஜ் ஒரு logo மாதிரி நீங்க எல்லாம் காமிச்சீங்களா அந்த மாதிரி எப்படி
புரியலீங்க. என்ன திருப்பி சொல்லுங்க. புரியல புரியல எனக்கு. எனக்கு திருப்பி சொல்லுங்க. என்னது? எனக்கு கேட்க சொல்லுங்க. என்ன சொல்றீங்க? ஹலோ கைஸ், am I audible guys?
வாய்ஸ் பிரேக் ஆகுது.
எல்லாருக்கும் என்னோட வாய்ஸ் பிரேக் ஆகுதா? ஓகே, so am I audible?
Yes, now audible.
Yeah, tell me என்ன சொல்றீங்க சொல்லுங்க பார்க்கலாம் கிருத்திகா.
இப்போ நீங்க வந்து தினேஷ் அமோல் இது போட்டிருக்கீங்களா?
இது என்னோட யூசர் நேம்.
இப்போ வந்து இமேஜா எப்படி வந்து நம்ம விசிபிளா பாக்குறதுன்னு கேக்குறேன்.
இமேஜ்னா அந்த படமா போட்டோவா?
யா அந்த மாதிரி இப்போ நீங்க ஆல்ஃபைன்க்கு காமிச்சீங்களா ஒரு லோகோ, அந்த மாதிரி இதுல லோகோ நம்ம கிரியேட் பண்ண முடியும்.
நம்ம தான் ஆட் பண்ணணும். You have to add it actually. If you want you can add it.
ஓகே.
இங்க நிறைய ஆப்ஷன் இருக்குல. செட்டிங்ஸ் இருக்கு. கண்டிப்பா இதுல ஒரு ஆப்ஷன் இருக்கும். செட்டிங்ஸ், வெப்புக்ஸ், கொலாபரேட்டர், பில்ஸ், டாக்ஸ். இதுல போயிட்டு we have to add the image.
ஓகே. நம்ம டெர்மினல்ஸ்ல போய் பண்ண தேவையில்ல. இதுல தான் பண்ணணும்.
ஆமா, இதுல தான் பண்ணணும். சப்போஸ் அட்வான்ஸ்ட் இமேஜ் மேனேஜ்மென்ட் ஒன்னு இருக்கு பாத்தீங்களா? when you click on this இங்க எங்கயாவது வரலாம். நான் அதோட செக் பண்ணிட்டு சொல்றேன் எங்க லோகோ ஆட் பண்றது.
ஓகே.
See, இது நீங்க பப்ளிக்கா இன்னும் போஸ்ட் பண்ணல. if you want to publicly view பண்ணனும்னா இது எல்லாரும் பார்க்கணும். இப்போ எனக்கு வந்து அமன் பார்க்கணும், சரண்ராஜ் பார்க்கணும்னா I have to click on this public view. அப்பதான் ஹோஸ்ட் ஆகும்.
ஓகே.
click on manage repository and click on settings. இங்க பாருங்க, நம்ம இப்போ யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்குது ஃப்ரீ வெர்ஷன். பட் ஒருவேளை நீங்க இந்த ரெபாசிட்டரி நம்ம கிரியேட் பண்ண இமேஜை டெலீட் பண்ண நினைச்சா you can delete the repository. இப்போ நீங்க ஒருவேளை ஒரு பிரைவேட் ரெபாசிட்டரி கிரியேட் பண்ணணும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க, அதாவது உங்க ஆர்கனைசேஷனுக்காக, பப்ளிக் இல்ல, உங்க கம்பெனில இருக்கிற எம்ப்ளாயி மட்டும் பார்க்கறதுக்காக. அப்போ அந்த டைம்ல நம்ம என்ன பண்ணலாம்? we can create the private repository also. இந்த ஃப்ரீ யூசர் வந்து ஒரே ஒரு பிரைவேட் ரெபாசிட்டரி தான் கிரியேட் பண்ண முடியும். பட் நீங்களே பெய்டு, இப்போ கிளிக் ஆன் மேக் பிரைவேட்னா நீங்க எந்த ரெபாசிட்டரி பிரைவேட் ஆகணும்னு நினைச்சீங்கன்னா அதை கொடுத்தா பிரைவேட் ஆயிடும். ரைட்? அப்ப யார் இங்க பாருங்க, this repository will not appear in Docker of search result and only will accessible to you or member of your organization. How member of organization we can add it? With help of a collaborator. Can you see a collaborator? இங்க collaboratorல போயிட்டு யார் யாரெல்லாம் whoever that you want, right? These people has to see this one. You can add the collaborator. And when you go with the paid version, there is a vulnerability scanning also will happen. Vulnerability scanning in Artham, suppose if there is a issue with respect to the image, suppose you are creating one image which is having some security threatening, right? Then the Docker will provide you vulnerability scanning. So it will scan your image, whether can I install this image into my server, because the customer anyway they are going to install this Docker container, right? This particular image. If there is a vulnerability problem, how we can, right? Then Docker will provide some advanced things and all with the help of your dockerup.com. But for that you have to pay money. So everything is available inside the Dockerup. But we are using the free version of Docker. Free version of Dockerup, where we are hosting our server. But yes, unlimited images you can host it. Unlimited public images you can host it with the help of Dockerup.
Sir, in real time, we should pay money for this Docker.
Exactly. We will not use the public, right? We have to use the private. In real time, you have to pay the money. Not you.
Okay.
The company will pay per month basis.
Okay.
They will opt this vulnerability issue feature. They will opt this visibility problem and delete repository. Everything they will opt. But as a, we are practicing it, that time we don't need to pay the money, just we are using the free version of your Dockerup. Are you clear so far? Now, suppose Aman wants my Docker image. So he can search it, right? So here he can search it, Dinesh Amul 4484/ the image name is say img1. Then he can get it, right? Yes or no? Anyone can able to see my image. Suppose this particular image, if you want, you can just copy this command and you can use it inside the Docker engine. Thereby you can pull this particular image. anyone can able to host your image. But for that, you have to follow two things. One is you have to create an account and you have to follow the naming convention when you push the image from your local terminal. Everyone clear?
Yes,
Any
sir.
question?
Yes, sir.
So far clear, right? Fine. Then we'll see, discuss tomorrow, guys. It's just a practice. If you have any question, you can ask me. Otherwise, we'll see tomorrow.
தினேஷ்
Yeah.
டாக்கர் கமெண்ட் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணீங்கல்ல அது
ஆமா.
கூகுள்ல அப்ப எடுத்துக்கிட்டோமா இல்ல அது நாங்க மெமரைஸ் பண்ணணும்.
அதாவது இன்டர்வியூ பாயிண்ட் ஆஃப் வியூல ஓரளவுக்காவது தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும். ஃபுல் கமாண்ட தெளிவா எழுதலாம் கூட பரவாயில்ல. ஓரளவுக்காவது இன்டர்வியூல நம்ம சொல்ற மாதிரி இருக்கணும். பட் உள்ள போயிட்ட அப்புறம் பிரச்சனை கிடையாது. வேலைக்கு ஜாயின் பண்ணிட்ட அப்புறம் நம்ம கூகுள்லயே நமக்கு எல்லா கமாண்டும் இருக்கு. ஒரு பெரிய விஷயம் கிடையாது. பட் அட்லீஸ்ட் நம்ம என்ன பண்ணணும், இந்த கமாண்ட் இப்படி ஒர்க் ஆகும் அப்படின்னு தெரியணும். நல்லா பிராக்டிஸ் பண்ணா அந்த கமாண்ட் அப்படியே மனப்பாடம் ஆயிடும். Right. We'll see tomorrow. Thank you.